Hello and thank you for joining us at Easy Cooking. Today we're going to make stuffed bell peppers. I grew up with that. It's a traditional recipe that my mom used to cook when I was little, and hopefully you all enjoy it. It's a several step process, and because bell peppers are not the actual original pepper that my mom used to use, I do cook them in advance a little bit, and we'll go through that process. Before we get started, let's see what we need. Onion, olive oil, salt, black pepper, paprika, parsley.
Sugar,
Okay,
rice, tomatoes, ground beef, water, bell peppers.
Now that we know our ingredients, we'll get going. First, we'll pour our olive oil in our pan. Make sure you get a decent sized pan. I'm only making half the recipe. If you have a bigger group, I'll put the full recipe on the internet, and if you have a full group of people, make sure you have a couple of these pans or a big pan, and you want to make sure to use a bigger pot for this here. Because I'm making half the recipe, this saute pan is good enough for me. So we're gonna put our onion, we're gonna put our spices in with this, and we're gonna move over to the stove. We're gonna get our heat on medium. We're gonna saute our onions for a few minutes. I'm gonna get my tomatoes and sugar over there as well. So you want to make sure that you warm up your onions for about 5 minutes or so. Then we're going to add tomatoes, rice, and sugar in there. And half the water, and let that cook for about 30 minutes. Almost to about half the time that you need to fully cook the rice. And while this is going, we've preheated our oven on 450 degrees. And we're going to cook our peppers for half an hour while they're empty. So like you can see, it's just the peppers. I've pre-greased the pan so they don't stick to it. I'll put 30 minutes on the clock. I don't want to overcook them. But if I don't do that step, my peppers will be hard. They will not be fully cooked by the time I'm done with the recipe at the end. And it's not going to be a full experience. You're not going to enjoy it. And this has started. I think this is enough time for the onions. We don't want to overcook them and make them soggy. That was about 2-3 minutes. Now we're going to add our sugar. We're going to add our tomatoes.
Yummy!
We're going to get our meat.
What about rice? Daddy?
Rice goes in later, babe.
Later?
We're going to smash it all.
Whoa! That's cool! I think that's good, kind of.
That's cool, Lily? Yeah, that's a nifty little tool, isn't it? I want to make sure to break our meat.
Whee! Whee!
Now you're going to cook this for about 10 minutes like this. And then we're going to add the rice and the water.
Fine.
10 minutes into it, we're going to give it a little stir. We're going to turn our heat down a little to low to medium, no more than that. we're going to put our rice and only half of our water. I have my full, all the water that I need in here, so I kind of need to measure, make sure I'm not putting too much. We're gonna give it a good stir, and we're gonna cook it for half an hour. It doesn't need more because we don't have the full amount of water, so it's not gonna really absorb more than what we've put in here. And that's plenty of time. You don't need to cover it. Once it starts bubbling, make sure to put the timer on 30 minutes. And after that, we'll start stuffing our peppers. We have 5 minutes left on our stove, so that was about 25
That was
minutes.
the high part.
But our rice is pretty much ready. It's gotten dry, it's absorbed all the water. So we're gonna take it off the stove. We don't want to burn it. So our rice is ready, and we're gonna start stuffing. Make sure to cook it on low heat, because if you have it on too high heat, it will absorb the water too fast. But this is what you get. These are our peppers that we cooked for about half hour. They're nice and soft. They smell really good. And now is the most important part. Getting the peppers filled up. Actually, this spoon is too big, so I'll get a smaller spoon so I can stuff them well. Alright, and we're gonna get going. We're just touching up. Almost done. This is actually the easiest part, stuffing the actual peppers. Kind of make sure every pepper is different size, so just make sure every pepper is filled up as much as you can. Just used up all of our rice. So perfect measuring, about 11 peppers in my pan with 1 cup of rice, so not too bad. Again, I'll put the full recipe at the end. Now, this is the most important part, the other half of our water. We're gonna pour it on top of the peppers because the rice is not fully cooked. It still has some water to absorb. So just pour it all over. Okay, all done with that. Now this is still hot, so I'm gonna use a hot pad. We're gonna put this in the oven for another 30 minutes. I'm sorry, for another hour actually, not 30 minutes. Still on 450. We'll put 1 hour on the timer, but make sure to take a look at it about 30 to 45 minutes from the start. Make sure it's not burning, and if it is, you can put foil on top. We're 30 minutes into it. Our peppers are getting dark on top, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out a little. And I am gonna cover the pan because I don't want them to burn too much. It's a little hot, so be careful. You don't have to really do too much. That's good enough. You just don't want them to burn. Because the top is cooked enough, we just need to finish cooking the rice. Put it back in and finish cooking for another, I'd say 30 minutes. I'll check it in 15. We may actually end up getting it done in about 45 minutes total. So I'll check it in 15 minutes and we'll see how we're doing. We actually ended up cooking the dish for a full hour and it smells really good. It looks really good. This is what we ended up with. I've opened up a pepper to cool it off here for me to try. It should be cold enough for now. And I can take a bite. It smells so good. I wish that I could describe it exactly how it smells, but it's really good. The flavor is phenomenal. The 30 minutes that we gave the peppers to cook ahead of time really did a good job because the peppers are cooked very nicely. Very good flavor. Everything complements each other. Now this dish does go very well with feta cheese. If you're from Eastern Europe, you understand that. If not, you can eat it without it, but it really complements it. I'm gonna serve myself some more peppers and I'm gonna have dinner. We're hungry. Everybody's ready and waiting just for me to finish the video so we can sit down. So enjoy your night. Have a pleasant evening, and hopefully you like my videos. Subscribe to my channel and share some pictures with your own dishes. By the way, if you're wondering what these stickers are on my cooking equipment, I'm just teaching my daughters a little bit of Bulgarian, so that pretty much takes care of that. Have a good night.